progressing very well. You can see it along the Red Sea when you travel by car. There are large areas where you have this functioning day and night when there is wind. But they have picked up a place where the wind is available. They have the so-called Atlas for Egypt, indicating where the wind at a certain speed available most of the year.
Yes.
And this is being done. The solar energy is very, very important. The cost being reduced year after year because it's expanding all over the world. And the nuclear energy, I mean, I was very skeptical until I heard, an expert, I invited him to come to our association, Businessman Association, and I told him, please talk about it, because people are afraid. But anyway, when I listened to him, and the assurances and the mechanics of work of this very important vital, sector of the energy, I was reassured somehow. But still, we Egyptians tend to neglect things. At the beginning, we'll be very, everything will be under control for a year or two, and then you start forgetting about it. But we're talking about a tremendous danger. If it happens, then you face tremendous problem.
Yes.
So that's what I wanted to mention. Environment and energy are two extremely important factors that they should mention, to the inventors and even local investors and Arab investors.
Well, there is a point that
maybe the president didn't have enough time because he made it a point to have a short and concise, precise speech. But he mentioned, and we can also elaborate on that the success in reducing subsidies was not only to reduce the fiscal reform, but was also to getting back for the first time the exploration. What people don't know is that for gas and oil to be stable, you have to increase exploration by 7% a year. We've done no exploration in 4 years. So we lost 30% of our production capacity. Why? Because, first of all, there was nobody to sign exploration contracts. The other thing is we didn't pay exploration companies our share in what we buy for them. So this government paid some of their dues, so the company back again, and the prices are more lucrative. On the solar, now the electricity ministry had announced a bid, and there is more than 4,000 megawatts of solar power which has gone through bidding, and they announced 80 companies who won and who are working, and some of those capacities will go online in less than a year. So in 18 months, maximum 24 months, we will have at least 4 gigawatts of solar power, which is essential. And also the president laid out, because people maybe have not all read the constitution, that we will be spending 10% of the budget on education, scientific research, and health, ensuring the future and the social safety net, because investors are worried about this, because you want to come in a stable country and you want to ensure stability. Definitely the energy factor is the number one, because to attract investments there has to be energy, regardless of the price, and that was a big problem. I think that definitely by summer 2016 we will have no shortage, we might even export. 2015 we will have lesser problems than we had in the previous year, if we have any. We might have good emergency plans which will help us get rid of the usual summer problem which we face.
But I remember, the Ministry of Electricity had a plan about 5 years ago, saying by the year of 2020, the amount of the quantity of electricity produced by the solar and wind will represent about 20%. Now we are in 2015, and I don't think ever that we'll reach that figure within 5 years. It looks difficult to me to understand.
The old plan is not there, but as we see from, regardless what the government said, from the business, because what the government has done, which is the institutional regulator role, is to have a take-off price for the feed-in tariff, which is for the big stations, 102 piastres and a half, has laid out the regulation. So I can say with confidence that in 5 years, if we look from now, we will have more than 25% renewable energy.
Well, there's something that they use, like, maybe they adopt that with the problems with the ruble, the problems with the sanctions imposed on Russia, they thought about now, like, tourism in Egypt for Russians would be expensive than usual, so they thought about, like, the barter system, or let's say they'd be using the ruble instead of using the dollar in paying for services in Egypt. How are you thinking of this? Will it just, affect positively or negatively our economy if it really was adopted, that system?
I think it will help getting more tourists into Egypt, and it will help also the Russian economy. It will strengthen the ruble because they will start dealing with it. But I think that there was a system maybe 10 years ago or even 15 years ago whereby you could exchange goods. You export Egyptian goods and import Russian goods based on a certain exchange rate that is fixed. And that was going on for many years, and then all of a sudden it stopped. So I wonder, why can't we go back to this old system? Is there any problem hampering this? I don't know. Because if you can do that, we can export the vegetables, fruits that the Russians need desperately, and we get tourists, in exchange.
Yes.
So this could be an idea maybe worthwhile investigated, and it could help.
I'm generally against fixing prices because it leads to black market and dual systems and people who benefit from that, which we have in those. Specific people always benefit from that. But that is what they are actually using by not fixing. We will not export a lot of fruits and vegetables. We don't have the capacity, we don't have the excess production to export more fruits and vegetables. And basically, if you export fruits and vegetables, you're exporting water. What we are exporting to Russia is tourism. What we're importing from Russia and there are signed deals is gas. One of the major Russian companies will export gas to Egypt. So we're using the ruble as a medium to help both of us do international trade without putting stress, but also trying to promote to the Russians that all of the tourism money which is sent to Egypt is coming back to you, and the fixed amount. So it's kind of getting that out of the equation. I don't know if it will get us back all the Russian tourism there, because the problem when the currency falls, it means the economy has fallen, it means the general mood amongst the citizen has fallen. But our Russian friends unfortunately don't have a lot of choice. Winter is very cold, they have to change, and we welcome them on the Red Sea always, which is their favorite destination, and we hope that it boosts, because the importance of tourism has unfortunately been neglected in the last 4 years. Tourism is the only, focus here, the only sector which can revive the economy fastly, and where the money goes directly to people, because there are so many industries involved, and because the money velocity and turnover is extremely high.
Yes, we do have this report on investment in the Suez Canal, new Suez Canal project, Station 12 Qorei.
Egypt on January the 15th invited the foreign investors to take part in the building of the new Suez Canal, the flagship project in President Abdel Fattah al-Sisi's program to revive an economy battered by years of political turmoil. The $8 billion project is aimed at expanding the waterway, which the government hopes will raise revenues and foreign currency reserves. Egypt hopes the new canal will more than double the revenues from the waterway by 2023 to $13.5 billion from $5 billion. It also plans to develop 76,000 square kilometers in the area into an international industrial and logistics hub to attract more ships and generate income. The new canal is to be built alongside the existing 145-year-old waterway, which is the fastest shipping route between Europe and Asia. Income from the existing canal provides a vital source of hard currency for a country that has suffered the slump in tourism and foreign investment since the 2011 uprising. Army engineers began digging in the area in August when the project was unveiled. Egypt's central bank governor said last September that the state had reached the $8.5 billion funding goal for the project, which it had